Hello! Woo! This is Dave. Something a little more advanced. War and Peace. Let's just it's quite a long book, so I won't bore you too much. Just give you a. Is there actually a beginning to this book? Names of the principal characters, dates and principal contents. Volume 1, Book 1, Book 2. I probably should have checked this before I offered to read it. Book 8, Book 10, Volume 3, Book 11, Book 13, Book 14. There's a first epilogue, which is, and a second. Oh, no, maps. Volume 1. That's handy. Book 1, Chapter 1. After, well, that says page 3, but that says more than page 3. Chapter 1. Well, Prince. Well, Prince. I can't do that voice anymore. Well, Prince. So Genoa and Lucca are now just family estates of the Bonapartes. But I warn you, if you don't tell me that this means war, if you still try to defend the infamies and the horrors perpetrated by that Antichrist, and I really do believe he's an Antichrist, I will have nothing more to do with you, and you are no longer my friend, no longer my faithful slave as you call yourself. Oh, but how do you do? I see I have frightened you. Sit down and tell me all the news. It was in July 1805. And the speaker was well-known Anna Pavlovna Skara, maid of honour and favourite of the Empress Maria Fedorovna. With these words she greeted Prince Vasily, a man of high rank and importance, who was the first to arrive at her reception. Anna Pavlovna had a cough, not surprised. For some days she was, as she said, suffering from la grippe. Grippe being a new word in St. Petersburg, used only by the elite. I know that word. All her invitations, without exception, written in French and delivered by a scarlet liveried footman that morning, ran as follows. If you have nothing better to do, you didn't know I could read French, did you? If you have nothing better to do, Count, or Prince, in brackets, and if the prospect of spending an evening with a poor invalid is not too terrible, I shall be very charmed to see you tonight, between 7 and 10, Annette Scala. Heavens! What a... Yeah, it is the Prince. Heavens! What a virulent attack, replied the Prince, not in the least disconcerted by this reception. He had entered wearing an embroidered court uniform, knee breeches and shoes. I bet he looked great. And stars on his breast, and serene expression on his flat face. He spoke in that refined French, in which our grandfathers not only spoke, but thought, and with gentle patronising intonation, natural to a man of importance who had grown old in society and at court. He went up to Anna Pavlovna and kissed her hand, presenting to her his bald, scented and shining head, and complacently seated himself on the sofa. First of all, dear friend, tell me how you are. Set your friend's mind at rest. Liberty and equality, said the Vicomte contemptuously, as if at last deciding seriously to prove to this youth how foolish his words were. High-sounding words which have long been discredited. Who does not love liberty? Who does not... There was a full stop, sorry. Who does not love liberty and equality? Even our Saviour preached liberty and equality. Have people since the Revolution become happier? On the contrary, we wanted liberty, but Bonaparte has destroyed it. Prince Andrew kept looking with an amused smile from Pierre to the Vicomte, and from the Vicomte to their hostess. In the first movement of Pierre's outburst, Anna Pavlovna, yeah, she's still there, and I've lost my place. Oh yeah, despite her social experience, was horror-struck. But when she saw that Pierre's sacrilegious words had not exasperated the Vicomte, and had convinced herself that it was impossible to stop him, she rallied her forces and joined the Vicomte in a vigorous attack on the orator. But my dear Monsieur Pierre, said she, how do you explain the fact of a great man executing a duke? I don't know if that's D-U-C. I don't know if she's going to say duchess. And she stopped, or a duke. Not very clear. Or even a very ordinary man who is innocent and